Welcome to our learning management system. So what we are trying to accomplish with this system is an automation of training or onboarding your new team members. Whether this is a bookkeeper, a staff accountant, tax preparer, or tax manager, we are providing automated sample sets, testing and assessments at the end of each period so that your team no longer has to take the time to sit with them day in and day out for the first 2 to 3 weeks of training. If your firm is like ours used to be, the new employee, when they come into the office, you take your best keeper or your best manager, you pull them out of production and you assign them to train the new employee. By day 2, day 3 at the latest, your trainer has now fallen behind on their own work and they're either having to work overtime, or what typically happens is the new employee now gets thrown in the corner, gets thrown busy work because the trainer has to get back to their own section. In this case, the new employee then gets really frustrated between days 3 and 5, and a lot of times we end up with that new employee leaving employment with the firm because they don't feel like the training was adequate and they're just being thrown bank reconciliations or coding or something to keep them busy until one of the trainers has time to really set with them. In this case, we have designed out multiple modules in different platforms, so Thomson Reuters ACS, Intuit QuickBooks Online, and Intuit Desktop, where they have a consistent sample set of data every month. So they will prepare financial statements, sales tax returns. They will be assessed at the end of each month on those sales tax returns and financial statements to make sure that they got it correct. So now your trainer will only have to spend on average 5 to 10 minutes a night with the new trainee, with the new employee, just to see if there's any pitfalls or problems or questions that they may have. But the automated system will let your new employee know whether or not they are getting this correct as they move from stage to stage. So if they don't get the January financial statements correct, they can't move to February. Once your bookkeepers are done with the 501 or the 701 module, they've done 12 months of financial statements, 12 sales tax returns, they've done 4 quarterly wage reports, year-end W-2s, year-end entries like your 2% health add back, your personal use of company car add back. They've completed 1099 forms. So they will, in a matter of about a 2.5-week boot camp, so to speak, they will see roughly 12 to 18 months worth of work that they would have encountered in their normal course of work. Your tax managers will then flow into the tax courses, which will take about another week to week and a half to complete, in which they will prepare tax returns for 1065s, 1120Ss, 1120s, 1040s, non-resident returns, and then we address some more advanced tax issues. So in UltraTax, we're going to go over some things such as multi-state apportionment, qualified charitable distribution, Roth IRA conversions to make sure that they're doing it properly in the software. And finally, the tax manager ends their course with completing a tax plan in UltraTax's or Thomson Reuters CS Planner. So we take the client from cradle to grave. They've done 12 months of financial statements, they've done a tax return for the client, and they end up at the very end doing a tax plan with multiple scenarios. So our goal is that the new employee, the new tax manager or tax preparer, by the time that they finish the tax module, they've at least seen most returns and most what we'll call complicated issues that they may see during their first tax season. So we're trying to take that first tax season learning process out of first tax season and put it into their onboarding for the first 2.5 to 3.5 weeks of their employment. So we've tried to take all your pains of hiring, all your pains of training that new employee, automate it, put it into a system where it's consistent. It is not as labor intensive, so you don't have to take people out of production for multiple days at a time. And it is all in one concise, compact program. Thank you.